The gospel is not about choosing to follow advice. It's about being called to follow a king. Now, I've said this before from this pulpit, and I'll say it again, but don't you dare come into church and think that church and Christianity is all about getting a little list of rules that you've got to follow to be a good person. Don't do that. That's not the gospel. Christianity isn't a message. I mean, when I stand up here and talk about the gospel, I'm not telling you, here's a list of rules that you need to follow so that God will love you. It's not about choosing to follow advice. That's not what I'm up here preaching about. The gospel is instead a message that there is a God who's already done everything needful for your salvation on your behalf. You don't have to do anything. You don't have to do anything except humbly surrender to that God who has done everything for you. I want you to see this, and I'm going to spend some time here because I got this wrong for 18 years growing up in church. 18 years I was in church. I did Awana. I did like the Bible Bowl at Awana. I was a good Christian kid for 18 years, and I did not understand the gospel. Some of you here this morning have been good Christian people for 80 years and have not understood the gospel. Because it's so easy to take the gospel and make it into a set of rules and regulations to follow. I'm a good Christian if I don't drink. I'm a good Christian if I don't gamble. I'm a good Christian if I help old ladies cross the street and give money to the Rotary Club. It's so easy to say that's what Christianity is. But that's not what Christianity is. It's something more. It's something more. The message of the gospel is this. It's simple. Simple, but it's powerful. The message of the gospel is that someone with the power and authority to do everything that needs to be done for you has done it on your behalf. Someone with the power and authority to do everything that needs to be done for you has already done it on your behalf. Now, maybe you've got the question right now, well, what needs to be done for me? What needs to be done for me? And I'm going to hit you with a little bit of truth this morning. Might make you a little bit uncomfortable, but you are a sinner. I'm a sinner. All right? And don't look at me like, I don't know what that sin thing is, because let me tell you how this works in our culture. All right? All of us think that we're naturally good people. And the reason we do is that we've got a neighbor across the street who we know, well, at least I'm a better person than John because I know he sleeps around. Come on, be honest, you do this. This is how we evaluate ourselves. This is what we do. We always think we're good people because we can always find somebody worse than us. That's true. You know you do this. I mean, whether it's somebody you know personally or whether it's just you go, I know that I'm not as bad a guy as Hitler was. I mean, it all depends on the standard. Are you a good person or are you a bad person? It all depends on the standard. But Scripture says the standard for if we're good or bad isn't your neighbor across the street who's sleeping around. It's not a Stalin, it's not a Hitler who you're going to be judged against when God has to decide, is this person worthy of coming into my kingdom? It's God himself. He's the standard. And God's perfect. He's holy. He doesn't sleep around. He doesn't sin. He doesn't even know what sin is. And so you've got a problem this morning. You might not know that you had a problem when you walked in these doors, but all of us have a problem this morning. And the problem is, what are we going to do about this sin thing? What am I going to do about this sin in my life? And you got a couple options here. You could try to deal with it yourself. I spent 18 years doing that. You can try to deal with the porn addiction. You can try to deal with the fact that you're a materialist. You can try to deal with the fact that you've got an anger issue. You can try to deal with your own stuff. That's what you can spend your time doing. Or you can recognize that the gospel isn't about following a list of rules. It's about following a king.